Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be doing a solo playthrough of Sleeping Gods. This is a continuation of my solo playthrough through the campaign, so check out my Sleeping Gods playlist if you'd like to start from the beginning, but this is Season 1, Episode 2. Let's get rolling. So I am back with more Sleeping Gods. This is Season 1, Episode 2 of my Sleeping Gods campaign playthrough. I'm calling it Season 1 just to leave the door open to play through it again someday on the channel and to differentiate them. If you haven't seen the first episode yet, you'll definitely want to start there. I'll put a link here. And then I've got a Sleeping Gods playlist as well, so you can keep track of the playthroughs by watching that playlist if you want to do that. And if you don't want to miss future Sleeping Gods videos as they come out, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave a like if you enjoy this type of content, please. Consider sharing it with somebody else. And I'd also encourage you to head over to my Ko-fi page, ko-fi, link in the description. You can get yourself reserved seating like these folks here on the screen by being a regular monthly contributor to the channel, or you can go for the Head of the Table Award, which is the top 10 contributors to Table for One over the last 90 days, at least as of time of editing. So it's folks like these and many others that keep Table for One running, and I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate it. So now let's quickly recap where we left off last time. I've annihilated my crew. Everybody is completely wiped with the exception of Gregory and Raphael, who have 1 health left each. This is not going well at all. I have KO'd my entire crew before, but only once. And I don't think it was this early in the campaign. I think it's about to happen. But what do we have for our troubles? Well, we've got 2 totems. The Stone of Blood is okay, but this Gate Stone, I've never had that before. I just crossed that off my achievement list. That is really cool. You can spend 3 command and move to any port. So I expect to make heavy use of that throughout the campaign, even though I'm in really bad shape now. A couple other great things I picked up from the market were the Alzarian cookbook. So I can cook 1 recipe for 1 fewer food token, and I don't have to pay the command cost on that recipe. So that's really helpful to get early. This Lucran steam engine is also great. You can pay 2 command on there when you take the move action, or the travel action rather, and add 2 to the distance. So, if I get a 9 or higher, I travel 4. I can travel up to 6 spaces at a time with that, which is just outrageous. I should have some decent ability to do that because I got a level card here on Audrey. This is jury-rigged engine. So if you use Audrey to travel, so that means putting a fatigue token on her, add 2 to fate. And if the total is then 9 or higher, you also ignore the hazard. So I've already made use of that once to get into this little inlet here. I got to ignore that hazard, which was great. So I've got some good stuff going on, but I got into too many battles. I have no weapons. When I went to the market the one time, there were no weapons for sale. There was 1 adventure card, like 1 item that could do 1 damage. It was chloroform, but nothing to equip to a character. And I really, really need some weapons. And I got into more combats than I expected to in those first few cards. So I was thinking when I start this next turn for my ship action, I might go to the quarters to get 3 command, so that if I survive the event, I can spend the command here to get back to this port. But after thinking about it some more, I think I might rather go to the bridge, clear all of the command tokens. I'll only get 2 commands, so I won't have enough to use that gate stone. And I think I'll just try and limp back if I can. But I kind of expect that through events and other means, I'll probably just get the crew KO'd, and then I'll be able to reset at the nearest port, and that might be the best thing for me. So in the meantime, I think I'd rather just clear all the command tokens. So let's get started with this first turn. I will take the bridge action. I get to clear all command tokens, which I kind of wish I had done this the previous turn. I might have been in a different position now if I had had more of these actions available. All right, so these are cleared. That's everything, I think. And then I gain 2 command. So we'll put that there. And I can also draw one ability card now. So let's grab that. Oh, and it's a 1. You know what? Actually, that's good. I'm glad I grabbed it because Now this is one less one card in the deck. And this is Refine. I already have Refine equipped to Audrey. What is the value on this card? Oh, also a 1. So I wouldn't mind equipping this to somebody just to keep the 1 out of the deck. But I've got a decent amount of craft. What I really need is perception and savvy and cunning. I'm less worried about strength because I've got a decent amount of strength just across my characters, but also I've got these nightmare gloves if I really need strength or something. But yeah, it looks like I've got 5 cunning and 5 perception across 5 characters, 1 each. I'm up to 7 savvy with Laurent's ability there, and 6 strength across these 6 characters. So I guess my point is I don't know who I'd equip with this craft icon, because most people, this is the least common ability just on characters. Audrey's got it, Captain Odessa, Laurent, and Raphael. That's it. I think Raphael, I probably want to put strength. Laurent probably needs more savvy. I could do Captain Odessa. I could also maybe look at these level cards and see what people might get. Is anybody going to get craft? It's really uncommon, huh? Well, maybe Marco would get 1. Jeez, and that's it. Yeah, there's not a lot of craft in the deck. Well, I don't need to equip this right now, so that's fine. So let's move on. I've taken all my command back. I've gained 2 command. I've drawn my card. Now I need to do an event. This will probably take me out. So this is our first event of this type. This is Perilous. So let's flip it over and see what happens. We have Floating Jellyfish. Glowing jellyfish float through the air, surrounding the ship under a gray sky. We can try and catch the jellyfish. That is a savvy test of 8. Now, the only 2 characters who can participate are Raphael and Gregory, and they have 1 savvy between them. So even if I have Gregory participate, he'll get the 1 savvy. Even if I flip a 6, that's only 7. I'm still going to fail no matter what. So if you fail, you lose 3 health. I only have 2 health left in total, so that would KO me. I would also have to gain 2 venom and 2 meat. The meat I would like. Or the other option is hit the jellyfish away. And this just says draw fate. If you draw 1 to 3, then you lose 4 health. Otherwise, you continue. So I know I'm going to KO everybody if I do the savvy test. So I think I'll at least try to hit the jellyfish away. So we're just going to draw this next ability card. If it's 1 through 3, everybody's knocked out. If it's 4 through 6, then I can keep going. And we have a 2. Okay, well, that's the end of that then. So I've got to distribute 4 health, and I give 1 to Gregory, 1 to Raphael. I have nowhere to place the other 2. So if we were playing on brutal mode, that would be the end of the campaign. I would just be done. I'd pack it away, and if I wanted to play again, I would have to start all over. So that's why I don't play on brutal mode. That doesn't sound fun to me. But let's check the rulebook here for how to reset now. So it says, in story terms, if the crew member's health is reduced to 0, the crew somehow escapes, wandering back to port, but it takes days. So first I have to get my journey log and check off one of these defeat boxes. I think that'll lose me some points at the end of the game, but I'm not really playing for the points. That's okay. I'm playing to explore stuff and find treasures and check out some new endings. So now this is the part that hurts. I need to discard 6 event cards from the top of the event deck and start a new turn. So that's 6 cards is what I'm aiming for each episode of this playthrough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's only 5 cards left now. And then we'll be done with the first third of the game. So these I'm just going to set aside, or rather I'm going to put them back into their respective decks without looking at them. So I'll shuffle up those decks next time I need to make a new event deck, and maybe we'll see some of those again. Who knows? Now we are going to move to the nearest port. So I take nearest to mean like closest to you, at least on your open pages of the atlas. I'm not going to go flipping around and counting spaces to see if there's somewhere closer. I think it makes sense. We go back to Zakura Trading Post, and we need to remove all crew damage and fatigue. So that's definitely helpful. Let's do that. Now you'll notice it didn't say anything about removing status tokens. So Laurent is still, he's still got Venom, and Kanan is still weakened. But even so, we're in much, much better shape now. So I also need these, and these, and those. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So, okay, all in all, that's kind of a relief. We can keep going now. So I need to start a new turn. So we didn't get to do any actions on that last turn, which is a little unfortunate. But now we start with the ship actions again. Where do I want to go now? It doesn't make sense to go to sick bay. It doesn't make sense to go to the galley. So either the quarters or sick bay are kind of equivalent. Because either way, I get 1 ability card and 3 command, and I don't use the other parts. So the question is, which one of those might I want to leave open later? And I think it's probably sick bay, because we are starting our turn now, and I'm remembering Laurent has venom. So we do need to do 1 health there. Well, you know what? Here, we'll go to sick bay now. We will heal that. And then we gain 3 command, and we're going to draw an ability card, and we get a 5 strength. This is engaged. Gain 1 command when you explore. Ooh, I want that because I explore kind of regularly, and that's a great source of command. And I was just thinking, so I'm near this port, right? And so I can do the level up action. I have 3 XP to spend. And I think there's only 2 cards I can get for 3. One is for Kasumi, which is not bad. Counter. So if Kasumi misses, she does an extra damage. So she does 2 damage when she misses in combat, which is not a bad one to have. It's good for the price. The other 3 was for Marco, and it was that other craft symbol. When any player cooks a recipe, they may substitute 1 ingredient for another. This one's really helpful if you have a lot of ingredients, but that has not been the case for me. But, combining that with the Elzarian cookbook can be really strong. But most of the stuff I want is for 4. I would like to get patch up for Gregory, so restore 1 health to another crew member when any player uses sick bay. That's one of the number 4s I would like to get. I would like to get, some of these are more expensive. I want to get Old Sailor for Laurent for 4. So that's gain 1 command when you use the bridge. So that's another way to start gaining command. Was there another one for 4? Remove 1 low morale from a crew member when you use the deck. No, not that. I want the 5 for Marco. I want Baker. Brawling is not bad for 4. Yeah, I guess the ones I want the most are for Laurent and for Gregory for 4. And so if I can equip this engaged, then I don't need the one for Laurent as much, and I can get the one for Gregory, and that'll help me heal people. So if I can gain 1 more XP, that's what I would like to do, is level up Gregory. That is assuming I do equip this. And so let's keep going. But I think before I draw the event, I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to have Gregory do command to get rid of this venom. If I can get some more command tokens, if I can clear that and get some more tokens, and then I'll have him take care of the weekend on Kanan. But this one is going to be more of a detriment for now, so let's get rid of it. If I save up my XP, I could level up Kanan, and he's just going to be a heck of a fighter. So I would like to do that. I'm also going to spend 2 command to equip engaged, and I'm going to put this, I think, on Raphael. So now he's got some extra strength. Oh, you know what? I'm going to spend this last command too. I'm just going to equip Refine. It's a 1. I want it out of the deck. I'll put it on Marco. And maybe I can level him up again later. Or, put another craft symbol on him to make that make more sense. It's not great, but I don't have anywhere else to put it. And I think I want to use different symbols for different people. So okay, that's fine. So now I've burned through my 5 command, but I think I'm in a good spot. Let's draw this first event. This is the deadly event type. So we have Spore Storm. A toxic cloud of spores drifts over the water ahead. Ongoing. Each time you travel, draw fate. If 1 to 3, gain 1 venom. If 4, gain 1 madness. Oh my goodness. Discard this card when you reach the end of the current event deck. So this is going to be with me for the rest of this video today. I'll put this here near the fate deck so I hopefully remember to do it. That's not great, and there's just nothing I can do about it. What do I do for madness? Who can help with madness? Marco, for 1 command, pay 1 food, discard a madness, and gain a health. So that's not very good either. I don't appear to have another way to get rid of madness, and I haven't had like a ton of extra food, so that could get pricey quick. So okay, I've done the event. Now I get to take 2 actions. I don't think there's anything I really wanted to do at the trading post, but I've got 6 coins. I might just go to the market again. Let's see if I have better luck this time. So I draw the next 7 cards from the top of the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let's see what we can get for 6 coins. Scout's Gear, Lucran Goggles, Lucran Fishing Pole, Scoundrel's gear. Okay. Shrunken head. Serpent scale vest. And a lantern. This is like all perception and cunning stuff. Still not a weapon in sight, which is discouraging. And man, I don't like some of these choices I've got to make now. I wish I had a few more coins because I definitely want the Lucran goggles and the Scoundrel's gear because they're both multiple uses. You can either get 2 perception or 2 accuracy. This one is get 2 cunning or 1 block. I would love to have either of those. But since they all came up together, this means like they're not going to be back again for a while. So I think I value the 2 accuracy more than the 1 block. That's really helpful. I think I'm going to buy these Lucran goggles. So that is a cost of 5. That's going to leave me with 1 coin left. The only thing I can get for 1 coin is this lantern for 1 more perception. That might be worth it to get 3 perception with 2 command. Darn, this fishing pole would have been great though if I had 2 coins. Maybe I won't get this. I've got 6 coins that cost 2. Either any of these are 4. Maybe I'd be better off getting the fishing pole and the Scoundrel's gear. That gives me a little more cunning. And then I have a way to get meat easily, which could be very helpful combining it with the cookbook and the grilled fish so I can use this more often. Again, these 3 all cost 4, but this is 2 perception, this is 2 cunning, and this is multi-purpose, 2 cunning or a block. So I just think that that's better overall. Gosh, so what am I looking at there? The Scoundrel's gear. That's some freaky stuff. I guess maybe these are like lock-picking devices, but it definitely looks like a torture kit to me. But anyway, if I had 7 coins, I would get these 2. I don't have 7 coins, I have 6. And I don't know if this combo is as good as this combo, even though I really, really want those goggles. That 2 accuracy is just huge. So you can use it after you draw fate. You know, I can get meat anytime with Laurent, but that costs 2 commands. So this is half the command cost, and that's kind of a big savings. Man, this is a really tough choice. You know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get these goggles. I just can't pass up these goggles. And then I won't get the lantern. I don't know that I need that bad. I think I'd rather have 1 coin so that next time I go to a market, I have a better shot of getting some more stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. So these cards will go on the bottom of the market deck. I need to spend my 5 coins. Let me get our market deck here. Just shuffle these up a little so I don't know the exact order of what is going to come up when. And put them on the bottom of the market deck. So, okay, I didn't feel awesome about the decision space of that particular set of market cards and the number of coins I had, but if I just purely look at before and after, I walked out with these Lucran goggles. I feel very good about having those, so I'm going to take that. That is a win. And so now I can take another action. I don't think I'm going to go to port. I just don't know that there's enough to do there yet, and I'd like to get another XP. So, if I'm not going to port, I'm not going back to the market. I could explore this trading post, but I've been there. And the only options I didn't take either cost a food or cost a coin. And I don't really want to do that. So I guess I want to travel, which is not great with this ongoing effect. So maybe I want to travel somewhere with a lot of exploring so I can like spend time in one place and not have to travel too much. And as I explore with Engage now, I can gain a command each time I do that. So maybe I'll try and do this. We still have Rescue Ulam's son, and I was pretty sure he's in here somewhere. What does that card say again? Let's take a look. Keyword abysmal. We have met a man named Ulam in Last Hope, which was up here, and his son has gone searching for pearls in a cave south of the peninsula. So yeah, I think that's got to be here. So maybe we'll try and go that way, and I won't even fatigue anyone. I'll just try and travel to here. If I can go 2 spaces, that's where I'll go. If I can only go 1 space, I'll go here, and we can explore those places on the next turn. So let's make our second action the travel action, and I'm not going to activate anybody. So we're going to draw fate. We get a 3. So that means somebody needs to gain 1 venom. And then with that 3, that means I only travel up to 1 distance. So I'm going to move the Manticore to here. Who am I going to give this venom to? They're going to lose 1 health next time. Maybe we'll put it on Raphael. He's got a lot of health. We can't heal anybody right at this moment. but I'm sure we'll be bouncing around and we'll make use of the sick bay to make it okay. So, okay, that was my actions for that turn. So let's clear the die. And now we start the next turn with a ship action. And I will go to the quarters. So I can remove two command tokens. I take the 2 off Gregory. I gain 3 command tokens. So here's 1. I get 2, 3, and then I'll just put 2 on Gregory right away to remove this Venom from Raphael, who still has to take 1 damage because he started the turn with Venom. So let's not forget to do that. All right. Now what else do I get? I get 1 ability card while I'm there. This is a 5. Special recipe, and this is, that's interesting. This is craft. When you cook a recipe, also restore 1 health. This would be worth equipping to Marco, because then he's going to have 2 craft, and then I can still level him up with other craft cards later, because like he is my cook. So the 2 level cards I'd like to put on him, you can have any number of level cards. Inventive Chef, that's the one with craft, only costs 3. When any player cooks a recipe, they may substitute 1 ingredient for another. And then I want to give him this one worth 5, Baker. When any player cooks a recipe, restore 1 extra health. I'd rather do that one first, but that way he could have up to 3 craft icons, and that would be good. Although, then again, this is a 5. I'd rather keep the 5 in the deck, so maybe I won't equip it. Okay, we've done everything for the ship, right? I took off the command, I gained command, I got my ability card, then I spent some command to get rid of the Venom. So now we draw an event. And we have Strange Illness. Man, this one's going to be ongoing too. Members of the crew are feverish. Effect: whenever anyone draws fate of 1, gain -1 health and gain 1 weakened status. And then action: as an action, you may perform a Savvy 6 challenge. If you succeed, discard this card. Okay, I think I need to get rid of that pretty quickly. I can take 2 actions now. I don't really have a way to boost my Savvy 6 challenge. I would definitely want to use Laurent because he's got 2. Kanan can't really help because he's got weakened status. I could use Gregory because I don't use his abilities very much. That would get me up to 3. But I think I want to get up to at least 4. And I wish I could use Kanan. But in his weakened state, he's got -2 to all skills. He's only got 1 savvy, so that brings him down to 0. I don't think he can go negative. And I just hate putting fatigue on any of the 3 of them because I don't want their attack to go down. These are like my 3 main attackers usually. Yeah, let's do this action. We're going to do a savvy test. We'll use Laurent, so that gives us 2 savvy. Gregory gives us a 3rd. And our 4th will come from... Oh, man. Let's use, I don't know, we'll use Mac. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's draw fate. We got another 4. Okay, it's a little bit overkill, but that's enough. We passed the Savvy challenge, so we can discard the Strange Illness card. I think it was best to deal with that right away. Now, it did say, as an action, you may perform a Savvy 6 challenge. So I think that counts as one of my 2 actions. So I think I can only do one more thing this turn. So let's make it an explore action. And because I have engaged, we're going to gain 1 command for exploring. And the question is just, do I want to go to location 2 or location 174? And this looks like some sort of little cave. Like there's got to be something in there, right? We're right at the beginning of the game. It's next to the market and the trading post. There's probably a goodie in there as opposed to this. I don't know how big this island is or where it goes, but that looks like kind of a rough place to land. So let's go to location 2. Even just the number 2 kind of suggests that like, hey, maybe you should go here early. So let's see what it says. Sea foam winds through a maze of mossy rocks on the cave floor. They brush the heel of a smiling skeleton which sits reclined against an old iron door, blood red with rust. So we can search the skeleton. It says that action is unavailable if you have keyword pink. We don't have keyword pink. We can also try and open the door, but that requires the keyword iron, which we don't have. Or we can leave. So yeah, it's either search the skeleton or leave. We might as well search it. And so we're going to turn to another passage now. There is no test. We just search the skeleton. And it says, a bag falls slack from the skeleton's fingers. You expect to collect it easily, but a snake with a milk pink mouth hisses out and fastens to your hand. You whip it by the tail against the wet wall of the cave. So we're going to lose a health, Gain 4 coins and 1 venom and a quest. And I am gaining a lot of venom lately. That's not good. Who's gonna gain this venom? Who am I gonna damage with this health? We'll put the health on Raphael, so he's just down to 5, which is kind of like pretty typical. The venom, I'm gonna put it on Kanan. Like, you kind of have to have one person who's getting all your status tokens. So unfortunately, that's Kanan right now. But then we gain 4 coins. That's a big deal. So take 1 back. We've got 5 now. And then quest 155 with keyword pink. This says snake attack. A snake attacked us as we took a bag of treasure from a skeleton. So you can see here on some of these quest cards, there's an icon of a wave, and this one doesn't have it. That means that there's nothing really else to do with this, except sometimes we'll need to check, do we have keyword pink? So there's nothing ongoing with that. It's just remembering that we've been there and we've done the thing. And it's just likely so that we can't continue to go back there over and over and get 4 coins, get 4 coins, get 4 coins, and then go to the market right there. So we have keyword pink, so we've already got the bag. It's probably not worth it to go there again. So I think that's it for that turn. So we're starting our next turn. Kanan has venom, so he takes 1 HP. Of damage. And so I think let's head over to sickbay and we'll take that 1 damage back off. And it hasn't healed him, but it's as good as healing him for now, because we're not going to take any command off, so Gregory's not going to be able to remove a venom. We are going to gain an ability card. Ooh, a 6. Once per turn, gain 1 low morale to redraw fate. Yeah, I want this to go back in the deck. And then I also gain 3 command. And is there anything else that I want to do before drawing the event? I don't think so. Although we're starting to get lower in this fate deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What I might want to do, I have not made good use of this Gloria card. Let's do this. Let's spend 1 command to draw 2 more ability cards. Now we're going to have 4 in hand, so we're going to have to discard down to 3. But this gives us, a 4. This is just 1 cunning. And then a 3, power strike, discard this equipped card when this crew hits for 1 damage. And so I'll hold on to some of these for the icons, but I'm going to discard, let's actually discard the 5 right now, because I don't think I'm going to equip this because it's a 5. And I've already got a lot of craft icons that I could rely on. So I'll hold on to the other 3, but I'll get this 5er back into the deck. And I'd like to get the 6 into the deck before I run out. I'm sure I'll have the ability to do that at some point here. So, okay, we've done that. Now, let's reset this. I need to draw an event card. And we have Cryvern attack. So this says, a huge Cryvern swoops down upon the ship. We can either fight it off, which is a strength test of 8. If we fail, we lose 3 health and take 3 ship damage, or outrun it, which is a craft test of 9. Now, I kind of wish I had that craft. And if we fail, we take 4 ship damage. But that's not too bad. I still have 2 copies of Refine, which I don't really need 2 copies, but each one allows you could spend a command, repair the ship, and there's no limit to the number of times you can do that. So I could just spend a bunch of command and fix the ship without too much trouble. And then if you outrun it, you also must move the ship 1 distance. So that can get the ship over to here without making me take the travel action, so I don't have to worry about this spore storm. And then I've got 3 places to explore, plus the market. There's another market there too. So I am going to do this Craft 9 challenge, and I will include on there Audrey. So that gets us 4 craft. I'll get a 5th from Marco, and let's get a 6th from the captain and leave it there. So I need to draw a 3 or higher. 3, okay, great. So we pass the challenge, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Great. So we don't take any ship damage, and now we must move the ship 1 distance. So we're going to go here. And we can get rid of this card. Okay, that saves me from having to mess with that Spore Storm. So now I get 2 actions here. And I think we want to do this one for Ulam's son. So before I do that, I'm going to use this Elzarian cookbook. I'm going to cook one recipe for one fewer token without putting command on it. And I'm going to cook the grilled fish. So I'm going to spend, I don't know, one meat. I think it's a little easier to get meat than vegetables. Or I can at least do it with some sort of regularity with Laurent if I really needed to. So now I can restore 3 health. I've only got 2 to restore, but I'll take it. I could remove a low morale, but we don't have any low morale. But then importantly, I can take 3 fatigue tokens off. So that's a big one. I'm going to get Captain Odessa and Laurent because between the 2 of them, they've got they're like the 2 generalists. And third, I'll take one off of Mac because she's got a lot of icons as well. If I do need craft, I can use Audrey, and I don't really use her in combat very much, so that -1 damage isn't too big of a deal. So okay, I think that was a decent idea. So now let's take our first action. It will be an explore action here at 54. Because I've engaged, I gain a command. That is very handy. All right, let's get the booklet, location 54, and it says, if keyword abysmal, turn to 54.1. We do have abysmal. That's the one related to rescuing Ulam's son, so we must be in the right place. So we're going to go to a different passage here, and that reads, the sea rages in the island's rocky jaws. Boulders scatter the approach like gravestones. So we can either brave the rough seas and the rowboat, or navigate the manticore closer to the cavern. If we navigate the manticore closer, it's a savvy test of 6, and if we fail, we take 2 damage to the ship. But I think we can do it. I don't want to get in the rowboat. That worries me. Let's take the manticore closer. So we do a savvy test. I'm going to use Laurent. So that gives me 2 savvy. I've got 1 more here I can spend, and we need to get to 6. So let's flip this card. Oh no, and it's a 1. That's bad. Ooh, adrenaline. That's a card I'd like to equip to Raphael. So let's use Kasumi here. Since I drew a 1 specifically, she can use this command token to redraw it. Anything but a 1 or 2. Oh no, we drew a 2. And I don't think it's worth it to redraw it again. But I do want this 6 back in the deck. I guess I'll hold on to it. We've got a few more cards left. But we have failed our savvy test with 1, 2, 3, 4. This could get me to a 5, but we need 6. Oh, but you know what? I'm going to spend this anyway, even though it's completely useless. I'm going to spend that to get the 6 back in the deck. And because I've got to draw ability cards now to see where to place this damage. So that's going to be like the end of the deck. 4, what location is that? That is the galley. And 5, that is quarters. Okay, so there's only 1 card left, and then I'm going to have to shuffle this up. So, all right, Laurent's maybe not the sailor he claims to be. So we've taken our damage. We have now navigated the manticore closer to the cavern. Let's turn to the next passage, which reads, rogue waves throw the manticore toward the rocks, but you guide it through the roiling seas to a calmer cove where the crew lowers the rowboat. So we turn to the next section, that is 161.1. The ocean roar gives way to the echo of dripping water. A giant door carved into the cavern rock opens, and a creature emerges. You cannot see his face, but 2 eyes glow above a robe the color of blood and water. His dark face flickers like a candle made of shadow. So many visitors this month, he says in a deep, hollow voice. We're looking for a young man, you say. The creature chuckles, his face flashing with malice. Yes, he was taking my pearls, but he makes good conversation, and I'd bore without him. All the other souls here have lost my interest. Would you like to come and see him? Inside the doors, Ulam's son sits chained to the floor amid a pile of bones, his eyes pleading, face sunken and pale. He seems well, don't you think? The creature's face twists into a cruel smile. Why not leave him here? I could make a fair trade. So I have 3 options. I could just refuse and go into combat, and it looks like a really big combat. This would probably be the hardest one so far. Or I could attempt to negotiate the release of the prisoner, or I could accept the offer for a trade. And so I really don't want to get back into combat. I'm not equipped for it. I need weapons. I've been in the market a couple times, no weapons. I need to get coins and then get weapons, and then I can fight whoever I want. So and I'm not going to accept the offer. That sounds terrible. So let's attempt to negotiate the release of the prisoner. I need to turn to a new section. I'm a little worried there was no test there. Usually there'd be, I would think, a test to negotiate the release, but let's see what the new section says. The shadow creature pauses. What do you have in mind? Oh, okay, so I have a choice between 2 tests. I could do a savvy test of 7 or a cunning test of 8. The savvy test says, why starve your intellect with just one soul, you say? In the city, you can find many more. Oh my gosh. And if you fail, you gain 1 low morale. Or I could do the cunning test, and it says, we can bring someone else to talk to you, you lie. That's a cunning test of 8. If you fail, you gain 1 frightened. Well, the savvy test is 7, cunning is 8, so I've got a better chance of achieving the savvy test. I need 7. I might as well throw everything I can at it. I don't have any way to affect savvy or cunning with these cards. Man, now, the Lucran goggles are great, but the, I guess I've got 1 cunning here. That's not great. How much cunning could I get? 1, 2, 3, 4. Kanan is out. So only 4, that would give me 5, and I would need 8. Or savvy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I've got more savvy, and the threshold is lower. So we're going to go savvy. So this is 1 savvy, 2 savvy, 3 savvy, 4, 5 savvy. I need 7. If I had kept track of every card that had come by, I would know exactly what this last card is, but I've not done that. So it needs to be anything but a 1. We have a 2. Okay, that's enough. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 savvy. We pass. So just to recap, the shadow creature asked, what do you have in mind? And we asked, why starve your intellect with just 1 soul? In the city, you can find many more. that feels bad. That'll surely come back to haunt me. So let's go to the next passage. Excellent. Then I will visit a city. I've lived here for far too long, says the shadow creature. Chains broken, Ulam's son hobbles to his boat tied near the back of the cave. Was he ever planning to let you leave, you ask? Not with this, that's certain. He smiles and hands you a stone that flickers with a dark fire. For my freedom. He bows and sets off into the sea. So, okay, we get 2 coins and 2 XP. So we're up to 5 XP now. I think I can get some good stuff with 5. Let me fill in these other ones a little better. I'll have open circles and filled in circles. Okay, I've got 5 XP to spend, and we gain adventure card 48. This is a totem, Stone of Fitness. For 3 command, you can remove a combat token from a crew member and use it again. Oh, that's pretty good. So you can extend a combat round. I like that. And Stone of Fitness. I don't think I've seen that one before either. Let's check my achievement sheet. No, I have not. Stone of Fitness. That is a new one for me. So let's cross it off. Cool. So I've got 3 totems now. These 2 are new to me. 2 new ones. Maybe I'll put them that way, or in separate rows or something. I want to try and keep track of how many new ones I found this time. Or you know what? I'll just write it here on my journey log because there's a lot of empty space here that I'm not going to use. I'm not using this whole section. So we'll just cross out player 1 here and say new totems. We got the gate stone, which is awesome, and the Stone of Fitness. Okay, put that away. And now we complete quest 4. Abysmal goes away. So we've completed a few quests so far. 1, 2, 4, 6, and 16. Moving along. I like to look at that from time to time. And we gain 2 new quests, 7 and 103. So let's see what's going on with these. 7 is Unleash. Shadow creature unleashed. We convinced a creature of darkness to visit a nearby city. What have we done? Yeah, that's not good. And this one has no ongoing component to it, so let's just hope we don't come across that keyword unleash, because that means we'll have stumbled upon the city where we sent this creature, and that's not good. This other one is maneuver for Ulam. We visited the shadow creature and found Ulam's son. So we got keywords to track those 2 things. So neither of these are ongoing. I'll put them up here. And boy, unleash. Maybe we can find that shadow creature and fight it later after we've got a little bit more ability built up. So that was my first action of this turn, was to explore. How many of these cards do I have left? 2 more until I get to the end of the deck. So what else do I think I want to do? I mean, there's 2 other places to explore on this island here, although I'm a little wary of that island. And then there's another market. So I've got 7 coins right now. I don't know if that's enough to buy a good weapon or 2. Probably not. I think I need a few more coins. before I go to that market. But I'm scared that if I go to this island, I'm going to get into combat. But you know what? Forget it. We're going to explore. Let's do another explore action. I get another command. I'm just being super reckless. We're going to explore. Do I want to like land on this shore here, or do I want to like go up this path to the top? Which of those am I more scared of? Maybe I'll just start on this little like outcropping, this little shore over here at location 37. This seems like a more involved go up the trail sort of thing. So we'll start at 37. You land on the beach near a dead tree. A swarm of wasps emerge, stinging and biting the crew. Their relentless attack ceasing only when you return to the water. So lose 2 health, gain 1 venom, return to the ship. Okay, well that was a huge mistake. So I need to lose 2 health. Kanan's not doing anything for me, so sorry buddy, you're getting the -2 health. And who else is going to get the venom? It's going to be Gregory Little, my doctor, because I'm going to use my next turn he's going to heal himself, and that'll just be it. Sorry. But he's got a little more health than most everybody else. So that hurt. All right, that's the end of that turn. Let's reset this. We do a ship action. I can't go to sick bay. I had to run away real quick. I heard an incredible whooshing sound. I didn't know what it was. Apparently they're flushing the fire hydrants on my street. Okay, so 2 people have venom at the start of this round. So we got to lose a couple of HP there. 1 for Gregory, 1 for Kanan. I need to take a ship action. I can't go to sick bay, though I would like to. I do have enough. I've got XP now, so if I go to the trading post, I can take the port action, level up Gregory, and then every time I go to sick bay, heal 2 health. I think that would be good. But anyway, where am I going to go now? Either the bridge or the quarters. But the only difference being bridge will remove more of the command tokens, whereas the quarters will give me more. And I haven't had too much trouble generating command tokens now. So I'm going to go to the bridge so I can remove all command tokens and gain 2. So here's 2. Remove this one from Kasumi and remove 2 from Gregory. And then we'll spend 2 for Gregory right away. And he's going to heal his own venom. All right, and now I need to draw an ability card. Let me shuffle this giant deck. I don't know that I'm allowed to freely discard these from my hand. I'd like to put at least the 4 back in the deck, but I'll hold on to them. It's fine. Let me shuffle this deck. All right, so I just did a big wash shuffle on the floor. So these are well mixed up, but just do a couple here. And why am I doing this? Because I'm doing the bridge action, and so I need to gain 1 ability card. Okay, set this down here, draw an ability card, and we get a 4 dodge with cunning on it. I can take a cunning test and spend both of these, get a couple 4s back in the deck. But now it's time for our next event. Let's draw it. And we have infested food. That's not good. The crew is growing sick. Ignore the crew's complaints so we gain 1 weakened, or find the infested food. That is a savvy test of 6. If we fail, we lose a health and lose 2 food. Well, shoot. You know, I've only got 1 food and I really don't want to lose it. So it's not very nice, but I'm going to ignore the complaints and gain 1 weakened. And so this is -2 to skills. You know who I'm using the least for skills is Gregory. So that takes care of the event, and now I can take a couple actions. And I'm not certain I want to explore 43. I don't know. I might want to go. I've got 2 options here. I can go to the market, hope I can buy a weapon for 7 or less, and then check out 43. That would be this turn. Or I can spend 3 command to use my gate stone to go back to this port, and I can go to that market, and then take the port action and level up so that I can use sick bay and start recovering more health, because I think I'm leveling up Gregory. And you know what? Maybe I'll stay here. I'll start with the market and I'll explore, because I'll still have the ability to use the gate stone on my next turn and proceed with that. So maybe I'll start here. I'll go to market in 43. On the next turn, maybe my ship action, I'll go to quarters and then transport over here. And then the sick bay will be available later. Although, how many more of these am I going to grab? Oof. If I want to go to sick bay before the end of this first act, I kind of need to go to the trading post now. Well, you know what? I kind of want to go to the market in either case. Let me start by going to the market here, and then I can always decide to, shoot myself over here and go to the port, or I could decide to explore. Let's see how the market goes. So I'm going to take a market action. Get this market deck back out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. I have 7 coins. Recipe, a coat, binoculars. Where are the weapons? First aid kit. There's a weapon, finally. Couple weapons. Okay. So we have Zockmere gloves. That looks the same as the Nightmare gloves, but this is just one block. So we've got vegetable pie. You have to do 2 grain and 2 vegetables, remove 5 fatigue, gain 6 health, and remove a status, which is all good stuff, but I never have that much like food and grain. Leather coat is 1 block. Binoculars. You can either gain a perception or when you search, ignore damage from 1 token. So that's the ship search action up there. That's all right. Ooh, this first aid kit is nice for 1. Just get 1 health and remove 1 weakened, which I've got a couple weakened. The gloves is 1 block. Let's look at the 2 weapons. This Zockmere harpoon is awesome, but it costs 10 coins. I've only got 7, so I can't afford it. But you can hit flying creatures with it. Gives you 2 accuracy, 3 damage, and 2 block, which is nice. And then there's this Mythen Axe, 1 accuracy, 4 damage, and a block. And I can afford that. That costs 5. And what did I say? I've got 7. I can get the first aid kit for 1. And I can even get the leather coat or the Zockmere gloves for 1 as well. I don't feel that I really need the binoculars, but a block and a first aid kit and a weapon. 4 damage is a lot. This, I think, would best be equipped on Audrey because her accuracy would remain the same, her damage would double, and her block would remain the same. So I think Audrey's going to get this Mythen Axe for 5. I'm going to grab a first aid kit for 6 coins, and then for 1 more coin, the Zockmere gloves and the leather coat are identical, but let's gain the coat just because it looks different than the Nightmare gloves, so I won't confuse them. So I've got something, man, that Zockmere harpoon was really good. That cost 10. So that gives me some idea of what weapons cost because I couldn't remember. So I'm spending all 7 coins. I probably want to have like a dozen coins when I go to the market. I just don't know how to gain that many coins right now. But all right, that was decent. That was decent. So let's shuffle those up, put them on the bottom of the deck. And we've got some cards now. So for now, I'll reorganize these later. Put the leather coat and the first aid kit here. The Mythen Axe I will equip for Audrey. Pretty cool. And you know what? I would still like to level up. I would like to do that this turn so I could use sick bay. So I'm going to spend 3 command on the Gatestone. Use that for my very first time. Move to any port. There's a port right here, and I didn't have to do a travel action, so I don't have to draw for this Spore Storm. And you know what? Let's use a command on first aid kit to remove a weakened. And we can also recover 1 health. Let's get 1 for Gregory. Kanon's still in bad shape, but at least it's all centralized in 1 person. Action number 2, I will go to the port. And for the port action, I don't have any coins, so I'm not going to the inn. I have 1 material I could use to repair 1 damage from the ship, but I don't think I'm interested in that either. I'm not going to the healer. I'm just spending XP, and I have 5 XP to spend, and I am going to level up Gregory with Patch Up for 4. Restore 1 health to another crew member when any player uses the sick bay. I think I want that. I do want to save up though. I think I'd like to get Crackshot for Kanon, and then he's going to be a major player here. What else is good here that I should be saving up for? So that's 7. I think I want for Odessa. This is 6. Gain 2 command at the start of combat. I would like to have that. For Laurent, this is only 4. Gain 1 command when you use the bridge. That would be really helpful. 6, 7. Oh, wow. She can get her accuracy up to 5 from 4. It's already pretty high, though. And the block is good. That costs 7. What else? Oh, for Marco, I probably want Baker. I wouldn't mind Inventive Chef. Brawling is good for Raphael. So I've still got stuff I want. Distract is interesting for Audrey now that she's going to be doing some attacking. So that one only costs 4. When Audrey hits an enemy, she may make it swap positions with an adjacent enemy before placing the damage. That's really interesting. That's kind of puzzly. But Gregory, patch up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 1 XP left that I hold on to, and this applies immediately. And that gets me somebody else with 2 savvy, so that's good between Gregory and Laurent. Got a decent amount of savvy, so that was the port action. And I don't think I'm taking any other actions right now. I don't have any commands, so yeah, that's going to be it for this turn. So now we start the next turn. We need to take a ship action, and I will go to sick bay. I guess before anything else, 1 more health to Kanan. He loses 1 more. But let's go to... Do I want to go to sick bay now? It would take 2 health off of Kanan, so he would net 1 from where he is right now. I guess he can still participate in combat, and I might want him to. But if I go to sick bay, I can't remove any command tokens from Gregory, so then he can't heal Kanan's venom, and that might be the better move, actually, even though I just planned everything around leveling up Gregory and going to sick bay. So would I rather have Kanan have 4 damage and no venom, or have 2 damage and still have venom? I think I'm better with the long-term play. I'm going to give Kanan 1 damage for venom, and I'll go to quarters. I will remove those 2 command tokens, gain 3 command tokens, put 2 on Gregory, and use it to remove the venom. Well, you know what? No, I'm waffling. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to sick bay. Stick to my original plan. Heal 2 for Kanan. So he had 3 damage, gained 1 for the venom, and now I've healed him twice using patch up. He still has venom. Those 2 command tokens are still there, but I gain 3 command tokens. So here's my 3 command. And what else? Now we go to the event. I need to get an ability card. And it's a 6. So I need to discard down, and I've already got 2 other cunnings. Let's get the 6 back into the deck. Fine with that. And although I'm almost done with the end of this act. So now I draw an event card. This is a thief in the night. Under a cloudy night sky, pirates sneak aboard. So I can either negotiate. This says gain 1 low morale, lose 1 coin. Oh, I don't have a coin. And 1 food. You cannot choose this option if you do not have 1 coin and 1 food to lose. So I can't choose that. So the other option is scare off the pirate scum. This is a strength test of 7. If I fail, I lose 4 health. Well, strength test of 7. Let's put Raphael on it. So that'll get us 2 strength. I've got a 3rd here. If I need to, I can get 3 here, but I gain a low morale. So, all right, I'm starting at 2. And that's 5. So that is a total of 7. I don't even need to spend this power strike. Neat. So I pass, so I don't take any negative effects, and that is it for this event card. So that went as well as it could have. Now the event deck is empty, so the next time we need to draw a card, we'll follow the directions there, but we can still take this turn. We get 2 actions. I guess I don't know what I'm going to do other than explore the trading post, which, thinking back, we told this monster to go to a city. It either went here or it went here. And I'm guessing it went here. So let's explore and find out. We're going to take an explore action. And because I have engaged equipped, we're going to gain another command. So we've got 4 command now. So hopefully I haven't just burned an action. We're going to go to location 130. And it says, if keyword unleash, turn to 222. We do have unleash up there. And that was the shadow creature unleashed. So, yep, this is where we told the shadow creature to go. That was maybe not such a nice thing to do. But what's kind of neat is even for being on the first page of the map, I'm doing a lot of stuff I haven't done before. I'm getting totems I haven't gotten before. I've never dealt with that shadow creature or seen where it's gone or gone through the storyline. So it's cool that there's so much stuff in this game. So just want to highlight that. So, okay, let's see what this passage says. The shadow creature took your advice. He found the closest city, and now he has claimed Zakura. He's enslaved the villagers and is using them to build a tower in his honor at the edge of town. This is all your doing, and you're not sure what the villagers will do if they find out. So we can either leave quickly before we're discovered. It's a cunning test of 8. I don't know what happens if we fail. It just has us turn to another passage. And also, if we succeed, then we gain 1 low morale and return to the ship. No, I think we need to do something about this. So option B is confront the shadow creature and see what you can do to save Zakura from a dismal fate. Let's do that. So we turn to another passage. It says, "How lovely to see you," says the shadow creature, sitting near the fire at the inn. Villagers sit at the tables with chains around their legs. "I'm so happy you suggested I leave my old dungeon. This is much better. Have you seen the tower these delightful villagers are constructing for me? Come eat with me, and I'll tell you about my conquest." So now we can either attack the shadow creature or accept the shadow creature's hospitality. That's brutal. So I think I have to right my wrongs here. I think I have to attack this shadow creature. At least I've got a weapon now, so hopefully that will make it a bit easier. It does look like this is going to be a very difficult combat, though. My crew's got a lot of health, which is good. I've got a weapon. I've got some command, a few things at my disposal. But this is the very end. Oopsie, geez, what a mess. This is the very end of Act 1, and I know what happens at the end of Act 1, so I don't know if it's really wise to be getting into a giant combat right now. But again, if I have to get into a big combat, maybe being at a port is not a bad place for it, so immediately after I can kind of heal up and then probably get the heck off this page. All right, let's see what we've got. Wowie, wow. So I assume this is the shadow creature. This Ashen Gatekeeper. Wow, okay, so we've got a skeletal haunter, an Ashen Gatekeeper, a skeletal warrior, and an infested eye. And the eye has this wing, so that means it has +1 defense. Its defense is normally 4, but it's 5 unless it's a ranged weapon, which would have this arrow on it, which Kanan's got one, and the captain's got a ranged weapon. And it looks like that's it. That really expensive weapon I couldn't afford at the last market was a ranged weapon. I wish I had it. And Kanan's in bad shape. I hate to ask, but I think I'm gonna have him try and shoot the wings off this thing. I've taken a lot from Kanan. I hope I'm able to get crack shot for him, make it up to him a little bit. His token allows you to redraw fate. That's pretty nice. So I might start with Kanan, although there's a lot I need to do to this Ashen Gatekeeper too. Who's got my best accuracy? Kasumi's got 2. Mac has 4. That's the big one. 3 for Raphael, 2 for Gregory. I'm going to need them on this Ashen Gatekeeper. Then also, what do I have to watch out for end of round abilities? There's a low morale and a damage. Low morale, 3 damage, 1 damage, 2 damage here. There's the wings, and then the venom, which is bad. And all these blanks over here, there's not a lot of good ability. This one doesn't have any good splash damage ability with anything on either side of it. That kind of stinks. So I do see with 4 damage from Odessa, I can do 1, 2, 3, 4. I could one-shot the skeletal warrior, or 1, 2, 3, 4, one-shot this one as well. It's just that her accuracy is not very good. So I might want to try with Kanan, see if I can do 3 damage, take off the flying, and then a heart, and then 1 damage. And then he can give his synergy token to Captain Odessa, who should be able to take out this skeletal haunter in 1 shot. Who would she give this to, and where could that be useful to place damage diagonally? But with Audrey now, she can do 4 damage. She can one-shot the other one of these and give her token to somebody, probably Mac, who does 2 damage by default, could get it up to 3 damage and potentially place it diagonally. And at that point, if these are the only things I have left, she can maybe place we'd want her synergy for sure. Oh, but that's okay. We can go 1, get her synergy token, 2, 3, place diagonally and cover up those damage. So that might be what I want to try. So then she can give somebody 4 accuracy. And you know what I could do? If I still have 3 command at that point, I can get 1 more block back and have another attack and try and take out probably this. Like I could have Odessa do 1, 2, 3, 4 and take out this last infested eye, and then it would just be down to the Ashen Gatekeeper. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Let me start with Kanan though. Let's get him in the fight while he's still here. So he's going to attack the infested eye because he has a ranged weapon. So it has 4 defense by default. It's a ranged weapon, so it stays 4. He's got 1 accuracy. Let's flip. Ooh, so that's 3. So he's gonna miss, unless I do something about it. But I don't think it'd be a good use of command. I'm not going to do anything about it. So he's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 damage first. He can only hold 3. So he's going to be out. We need to place 1 damage somewhere else. Who's not really fighting right now? Laurent is not going to probably do much. Let's put 1 there. And then Kanan still gets to do 1 damage back. Maybe I'll just have him hit these wings to make it a little easier to take this thing out. Or you could hit this venom so nobody else gets venom. That could be useful. Yeah, let's just cover up the venom. Okay. Well, that's going to be a 5. Yeah, we'll cover up the venom. I think we'll be okay. Then again, if he hits this heart, if he hits a heart, we may be able to one-shot this thing. Maybe, I don't know if that'll be possible, but it might be. Let me cover this heart, get a synergy token, and we will pass it to, does it really matter? Captain Odessa and Audrey are equivalent right now in terms of what they can do, except we've got a ranged weapon for Captain Odessa. Yeah, I'll give the synergy token to the captain, and then I will have the captain attack next, and I will have the captain attack this skeletal haunter. Let's just try and deal with that. So it's got 5 defense. She's got 1 accuracy. We flip. We're at 5. 4 plus 1 is 5. That's enough. So she does 4 damage. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. We do get her synergy token, but that eliminates the skeletal haunter, so it does not get to counterattack. That's huge. And I think we said we were giving this to Mac. Next up, I'm going to have Audrey attack. And she's going to attack the skeletal warrior. So let's flip the card. She's got 1 accuracy. We need to get to 5. 1 plus 4, that's enough. So she does 4 damage with this axe. 1, 2, 3, 4. We do get her synergy token right there. But then that takes out the skeletal warrior. We close the gap. There's no counterattack. All right, this is going well. So who are we going to give this synergy token to? Oh, let's give it to Mac. Because then Mac can do 1 extra damage, so 3 damage and place tokens diagonally. She can do 1, 2, 3, take out this eye. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to attack now with Mac. She's got 4 accuracy. She needs to get to 5 though. There's 1 extra defense because this is still a flying enemy and she doesn't have a ranged weapon. So we're at 4. We need to get to 6. And we have 6. Okay. This is working out. So she's going to spend this and this to place 3 damage and to do it diagonally. 1, 2, 3. She takes out the infested eye. And all that's left now is the Ashen Gatekeeper. So that went pretty well. The only other thing now before end of round is I could spend 3 command on Stone of Fitness to remove a combat token from a crew member and use it again. And I think this is a great use for it. I'm going to spend 3 command to remove this one from Captain Odessa, and now I'm going to use it again with Captain Odessa again because she can do 4 damage. I guess so can Audrey. I don't know if it really matters. Oh, but yeah, Odessa's got the redraw synergy token there. So we need to hit 7. She's at 1, so she's got to draw a 6. That's actually pretty bad, but we'll give it a go. And oh my goodness, we got a 6. That's amazing. Okay, so she's at 7. That's enough. So we don't need to redraw. I guess she'll hold on to that, but I can do 4 damage now. And this is pretty great. I'm going to put 1 here, take out a heart, but also an end of round low morale. So that's 1, 2, 3 goes here to take out this 2 heart and get a synergy token back out there. And then the last one will go on this 3 damage. So I don't have to deal with that. So I've got to give this diagonal to somebody. Let's give it to Audrey, because she can do 4 damage. And with these hearts, if she can place diagonally, she can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that'll be it. The only problem is going to be her accuracy. So I might not end up using that, but that's okay. All right, we're at end of round now. So the enemy's attack. This is going to attack one person for 3 damage, and there's a low morale token, which for challenges, you have to pay a command to include that person. And here's 3 damage. So let's put the low morale on Laurent because he is already, you can't use him for challenges anyway. He's got 2 fatigue, so who cares? And for the 3 damage, I guess we'll give it to Laurent too. We're going to start piling on him. I think that's all right. And now we can get these cubes back and go into another round. Should be able to do this in 2 hits. And I think my best bets here are going to be Mac and Raphael. And let's start with Raphael. Because whoever goes first is going to take the hit, and he's got more health to begin with than Mac does. So he's got 3 accuracy. He needs to get to 7. That's kind of high. He draws a 5, though, so he's got 8. That's enough. So he is going to place 2 damage. So we'll go here on the head. That's a synergy token. 1 here on the body. So his synergy token, he'll give it to Mac, and in the off chance that she misses, she'll still be able to block. So now 3 damage, counterattack to Raphael, and he doesn't have any block, but you know what? I've got a command token here. Let's spend it to block one of those. So he only takes 2 damage back. Okay, and finally we'll have Mac attack. She's at 4. She needs to get to 7. She drew a 1. Oh no, and I was thinking, I still had command tokens that I could use for more accuracy or to redraw 1 or to redraw something else. I just used it for 1 health for Raphael. That was not a good use, actually. So she misses. We're going to get 3 damage to her. She's going to block 2 of it, take 1 hit. So yeah, that was a bad use of command, actually. But she still gets to do 1 damage back. So she'll do that here, get a synergy token, and maybe she'll pass that back to Raphael. Because she can't take it herself. He'll have the best chance of getting another hit. I didn't put a token there. Okay, so let's have Raphael go again, because you can have one character go twice. So he's going to attack. He's at 3. We can spend that to get to 5. We need to be at 7. We draw a 5, so we're at 8 anyway. We don't need to spend the token. He does 2 damage, hits that last heart, and that is the end of this combat. So now we can clear this stuff out. I feel like to some degree I have righted my wrongs. I don't know if the people of the Zakura Trading Post will fully forgive me, but tried. I'm trying to help people here. Put away the combat stuff. Put away these cards, 16, 17, 18, and 19. That was a tough combat, but it didn't go as poorly as it could have. So let's read what happens now. You defeat the shadow creature. The villagers rejoice. You make amends by staying to help restore the village, and the villagers graciously accept your apology. Oh, that makes me feel better. So we gain 2 artifacts, 2 grain, 2 vegetables, 3 XP, and we complete quest 7. So here's 2 artifacts and 2 grain. The artifacts kind of look like an old bell, maybe, or I don't really know what they're supposed to be, but they're cool. You can spend them as 2 coins each, or there are other things you can find to do with them where you can get more value somewhere out in the world. I don't know if we'll find one or not. We complete quest 7, so that unleash keyword goes away. I'm going to get 2 vegetables as well. All right, so now I've got some food, and I get 3 XP, which brings me up to 4 XP. That's not bad either. And now I return to the ship. So what I don't have is any coins to be able to go to the market and do anything. So what am I going to do for this last action? I could go to port. I could spend my 4 XP on Laurent's old sailor level up so that when I go to the bridge, I get extra command. Otherwise, most of what I want, Baker is 5. I don't really need brawling that badly. I want Laurent's, which one is it? Old Sailor. I would like to get that. I would like to get Baker for 5, and then a couple for 7. I really want Crackshot for Kanan, and I want for Captain Odessa Tough as Nails. Not Tough as Nails. Which one? For 6. Plan ahead. Gain 2 command at the start of combat. So I want a 4. Let me go back. This is a 7 and a 6, a 4, and a 5. Those are my priorities, 4, 5, 6, 7. So is that a good use of going to a port? And you know what? I think it might be. So I don't really want to travel. Then I'm just risking this spore storm again. I might as well just stay here. The market's useless to me. I don't have any coins. I don't want to go back to the trading post. I've done what I'm going to do there. So yeah, action 2. I'm going to go to port, and all I'm going to do is spend my XP, I think. So we get the journey log, back out. I've got 4 XP. Spend all of it. So now I've got 3 more level ups on my priority list that cost 5, 6, and 7. I think the 5er is the least important to me, but seems like a good thing to do. Laurent, Old Sailor, gain 1 command when you use the bridge. So now I really don't have any reason to go to quarters, unless I wanted to do like the bridge thing sort of back to back. But now I'm incentivized to sort of just bounce back and forth between the bridge and the sick bay, wherever that makes sense. So that was it for that turn. Now, the next turn, I believe I still take a ship action. Yeah, the way I read the rule book, I still take a ship action, so I will go to the bridge. So I remove all command tokens from everything. I spent a lot of them. That's good. They're meant to be used. And then I gain 2 plus 1 for Laurent, so I've got 3 command tokens. I'd like to have more than 3, but I'll take 3. Also, at the start of the turn, we've got a Venom out there on Kanan, but he can't take any more damage, so we skip that. So I also draw one of these cards. Oh, I get a 6. I'd rather have been able to hold on to that, or to draw it during the next part, but I got to discard something. I'll put this one right back in the pile, keep the 6 out there. Not that that's really going to matter either. And now it's the event step, but there's no cards left. So the first time this happens, we read story 1. At this point, I can discard Spore Storm. So that goes away. And then do I want to spend any command on anything before I start reading? I don't think so. I don't think spending any command is going to do anything all that useful for me. So we turn to the storybook, go to number 1. A ripple of foam builds to starboard. Just below the waves, you see the head of a monstrous lizard. Mac grabs the gunwale, peering at the acrid foam with a barely masked dread. He found us already. The beast heaves its giant body against the hull, throwing Mac to the deck. Laurent spins the helm hard to port, and the manticore lets out a metallic moan as it leans away. In front of you, a scaly tail the size of your quarterdeck slaps the water like an impatient cat. He's playing with us, Mac snarls. What is that? Laurent asks. An ancient beast called the Hectocron. Hates the gods and anyone trying to wake them. He'll sink us if he can. And now we're going into combat. We are fighting the Hectocron. This is just the Hectocron head here. So this seems like a good time as any for me to briefly pause, offload the footage from my camera. We will film this fight, and that'll be the end of this episode. So give me just a minute to do all that. All right, so I am back, and I need to defeat this Hectocron. And boy, there's some stuff going on here. A 4 damage and a 1 damage. So this thing, default is 5, but it can hit 10 damage if I don't take those out. At the end of the round, there are 2 fear icons that it'll place, and or fear status tokens it'll place on characters. And any character who has fear, who is afraid, cannot participate in combat. So that gets tricky. And then we've got this 3 heart up here. You've got to do 3 or more damage to hit that. So that is a lot going on. So I think the play here is we probably want to start with Mac because she's got so much accuracy, or potentially Raphael. Either way, they do 2 damage. Oh, but probably Mac. Because I want her to do a couple damage and probably take out. I don't know who gives. What are these bonuses? We need to get some bonus damage going. I need somebody to do 3 damage. I really need either Captain Odessa or Audrey. Each of them does 4 damage. I need one of them to do 3 here and 1 there. I've got to cover that up. Or I at least need somebody who can do 3, who can hit that 2, and then cover that 4 damage there. And the only crewmates I've got who can do 3 damage are Kanan, who's not even in the battle, and Kasumi. And she's got 2 accuracy, so she would need to hit at least with a 4. And with all the counterattack, even if she got that with 3 damage, there's 5, 6 counterattack, that would knock her out completely. Like each person who gets hit is going to be knocked out of this thing. But yeah, I think I'll start with Kasumi. She needs to do 3 damage, put her on this 2 heart and that 4 damage. I'll have her give this extra damage token to probably to Mac, so that Mac can do 3 damage, and then she can just put it on that 3 heart and pass her accuracy token to, we'll say, Captain Odessa. Captain Odessa then has a better chance of actually getting a hit and doing 4 damage. She could do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I can have any one person. At that point, most accuracy would be Raphael. Although I could use Mac. No, Mac will probably be gone. I can use Raphael to do this last heart and do this in 1 round. So Kasumi to... Where'd Mac go? Did I lose a token? Oh, right there. Kasumi to Mac to Odessa to Raphael. I think that's what I need to do. So, all right, let's see how it plays out. Start with Kasumi. She's attacking the Hectocron head. She's got 2 accuracy. She needs to get up to 6. So we need at least a 4. And she's got a 4. Okay. So she gets to do 3 damage. So here we go. We've got 1, 2, and then 3, getting the synergy token and covering up that 4 damage on the Hectocron head. She'll give her synergy token to Mac. Hectocron now counterattacks at 5 plus 1 is 6. I could block one of those, but I think that's not a good move. I think I'm going to need those command tokens for this accuracy here. Redraw Fate. I guess if she's gone, I can't redraw that 1 Fate. That's too bad. But even if I block this, she'll be taking 5 hits. She'll be out anyway. So she'll take the 5. She's out. We got to do 1 more damage to somebody else. Let's put on Marco because I don't plan on using him, so he should be fine to absorb it. Next up is going to be Mac. She's got 4 accuracy. We need to get to 6. She draws a 3. That'll do it. So she attacks. She's going to spend this synergy token to do 1 extra damage. So she can do 3 damage. So she will cover this 3 heart. She gets a synergy token, passes it to Captain Sophie. And now the Hectocron head attacks Mac with 6 damage. She's got 1. She can only take 4 more. So again, she's out. And I'm going to put the other 2 on Marco here. Sorry, Marco. Really getting beat up. And then Captain Odessa is next. She's only got 1 accuracy. She can spend this token for 2 more. She needs to get to 6. So she's got to draw at least a 5. She draws a 4. So that's 4, 5 accuracy. We need 6. So I'll spend this token to get the accuracy high enough. And now she can do 4 damage. And we don't really need her synergy token. So I'm going to do 1 on this heart, the second and third on this 2 heart, and the last on this bottom heart and damage. So now the Hectocron's only doing 5 damage back instead of 6. And Captain Odessa does have 1 block, so she'll only take 4 damage, which is a heck of a lot. But she is not out. Should have spent a block though. There we go. And now I have 1 more attack left. I'll have Raphael do it. He's got 3 accuracy. So that's the highest accuracy of anybody who's still walking around. We need to get to 6, so let's draw. He draws a 3, so that's enough. He's got 6. He's going to do 2 damage, and he will put the 2 damage on this 2 heart here. Ooh, I was thinking if you missed, well, it doesn't matter. It worked out okay. So that covers the heart. There is no counterattack. We've defeated the Hectocron head. So let's clear the combat stuff. 4 blocks and the 9 synergy tokens. Go back in the bag. Put away the Hectocron head. Don't worry, it will be back. Surely a creature of this magnitude is not defeated so easily, so let's continue reading now. The Hectocron retreats into the deep. Mac lingers on the bridge, watching the water. He'll return eventually, and next time, he won't give up until we're at the bottom of the sea, she warns. So now we will make a new event deck with unused event cards from the box. So I'll shuffle those up, make a new event deck for the next video. Just like in the first act, it'll be 6 deadly cards below 6 perilous cards, which are below 6 mild cards. And then we'll return any unused cards to the box. And on the journey log now, we have to mark that we've been through our first event deck. So that means here's the event deck. We've been through it 1 time. Although it was expedited because I did lose 6 cards. I lost a third of the deck this time through. And now this is the part that kind of stinks. All crew members must discard any ability cards they have equipped. Level cards remain. And then we return to the ship. So that's all these blue level cards. I'll clean this up in a little bit. The brown ones are all the blue ability cards. All the brown ones are the level cards. So yeah, these 3 1s and a 2 that I had kept out of the deck now go back into the deck. So we got to try and work on clearing those out again. So it says return to the ship. I think I still get to take a couple of actions, so we might as well finish up this turn, and then we'll have a new event deck for the next round. So unfortunately, I thought I might be getting some coins or something for that combat. I did not. I've got 1, 2, 3 characters completely out. Odessa and Laurent only have 1 hit left each. Man, I didn't even get any XP or anything for it. I think it's prudent to, let's use this cookbook. I'm going to cook flapjacks for 1 less ingredient, so I'm just going to spend the 2 grain that I have. Now I can recover 3 health and remove 3 fatigue. So we want to take 1 fatigue off Laurent, and we want to take probably 1 off of Audrey, because I bet we'll be traveling. And for a 3rd one, let's get 1 off of Captain Sophie, because she can do a little bit of everything. And what else now? Oh, you know what though? I'm going to cook a different recipe. Let me put these back. I'm going to do this recipe, the grilled fish, for 1 vegetable, because you can remove a low morale, and I do have a low morale. I didn't see that before. I didn't think it was going to get used, but if I can remove it, then let's do it. And so now I can recover 3 health. Let's get 1 from Kasumi and 1 from Mac. So they will each have 4 hits on them. Still a lot. How am I going to heal everybody? And I can recover 1 more, probably from Mac, just because of her great accuracy and terrible ability to block. We want to keep Mac around if we can. But yeah, I would love to go to an inn at the port action, spend 4 coins, and just get everybody in much better shape. But you know what? Actually, I'm going to leave that hit on Mac, and instead I'm going to heal 1 to Kanan. Let's bring him back. I really want to get that guy back in this thing. And so in order for that to make sense, I need to get rid of that venom. All right, and now maybe on next turn, I can go to sick bay, heal 2 damage, and then maybe use a command here to get another health and remove that weakness, and then Kanan's sort of back in it. And so I would really like to start moving east. For my first action, I'm going to travel, and I will activate Audrey. So here's the fatigue token. So she's got 2 craft now, plus 2 for her level. Let's draw fate. We get another 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means we can go up to 2 spaces. So let's do it. We'll go 1, 2. And now, do I want to travel again? I think I do, because we've already been here. I don't need to go to the market. I've been to that dumb place. And I don't really want to go here because I think, everything we know, there's going to be some tough fights there. So I'm just going to travel again, and I'm just going to draw for it and see what we get. We get a 3. So that means we can move exactly 1 space. I don't have any craft to discard to do anything better. So we'll move 1 space. There is a hazard here, so it's a savvy skill check of 5. Otherwise, we could take a ship damage. Not super worried about the ship damage still, so I'm just going to draw for this too. And it's another 3. So we do take a ship damage. Where does it go? There's our 5. It goes to section 5. So that is the quarters. The quarters are out of commission. I could probably repair one of those at some point just by, I don't have those cars to spend a fatigue or to spend a command to repair the ship. I've put them both back in the deck. Shoot. Maybe I would have been a little less callous. But anyway, that was our second action. So this turn is over. That's where I'm going to pause it. I'm going to make myself a new event deck, and we will be on our second pass through that deck. It is a little bit disappointing that I KO'd my whole crew and had to lose 6 event cards, but sometimes that just happens. So if you enjoyed this, tune in for episode 3 next time, where I will be going east. I hope that's definitely the intent right now. I could potentially explore location 20, which it looks like it just leads to that boat. Maybe I can get a discount or something, but I don't have any coins. I don't know. I can go there. I could go there onto the land, but I would like to keep sailing and see what's on this next page and go in that direction. So let me know what you think in the comments of this series, of this game, of the way I'm presenting it. I hope you're enjoying it. I certainly am. And I will see you the next time we return to the Wandering Sea. Thanks for watching Table for One, and have an awesome week.